The sterile air of the research vessel Zelthar Prime smelled faintly of antiseptic and ozone. Dr. Yerven, a six-limbed thoraxy bioengineer with 3 doctorates and a reputation for emotional detachment, stood at the head of the xenobiology lab. His cerulean eyes blinked rapidly as he scrutinized the human subject in the containment field. "I must ask again, Lieutenant Mace," Yerven said, adjusting a sensor node. "For complete clarity and scientific accuracy, you insert what into where exactly?" Lieutenant Heather Mace, Earthborn and Navy-trained, raised a brow, amused. "For the 3rd time, Doc, we reproduce sexually, meaning the male deposits sperm via an organ called a penis into the female's vaginal canal during intercourse." Yerven recoiled slightly, his mandibles clicking in discomfort. "Voluntarily," Mace snorted. "Yeah. And enthusiastically, too." The thoraxy scientist took a step back and made a long note in his datapad, tapping rapidly with 4 of his 6 fingers. "Primitive. Unshielded. Biologically reckless. The thoraxy use external genetic synthesis chambers for reproduction. No fluids, no invasive appendages, and certainly no emotional entanglement." "Well, you're missing out," Mace said, lounging on the diagnostic table like she was sunbathing. "I mean, come on. It's not just about procreation, it's about bonding, pleasure, intimacy. You ever heard of love, Doc?" Yerven's mandibles twitched. "Is that a hormonal dependency loop humans form to justify your inefficient methods?" "Nope," Mace said with a wink. "It's why your crewmates keep downloading human romance sims." Yerven froze mid-tap. "That is outside the scope of this study." The Zelthar Prime had been orbiting Earth for nearly 6 months as part of a cultural and biological exchange pact between the Galactic Concord and the fledgling United Terran Alliance. Humans had taken the galactic community by surprise, resilient, aggressive, adaptive, and bizarrely sentimental. The Thoraxi, one of the Concord's oldest and most intellectual races, had requested direct study of a human representative. Mace had volunteered. She regretted nothing, especially not the look on Yerven's face every time she explained something new. "So let me get this straight," Yerven said during their next session, pacing around a 3D hologram of human reproductive organs. "Mating pairs engage in intercourse repeatedly, even when no offspring is intended." "Yup. For pleasure. Correct. Sometimes with different partners." "Yeah. Sometimes in the same week," Mace said, popping a piece of gum. "Or the same day." Yerven swayed like he'd been struck by a plasma pulse. "But the risk of disease transmission, the biochemical inefficiencies, the hormonal confusion. Ever heard of condoms?" "I have now." "You carry them in your pockets." Mace held one up like a magician producing a coin. "You never know." Yerven shuddered. "You treat reproduction like it's recreation." Mace raised a brow. "Don't pretend like half your crew doesn't get high off of fermented glibweed and chase holograms through the zero-G decks. Recreational neurostimulation is nothing like what you're describing. Keep telling yourself that, buddy." Weeks passed and the study evolved. Yerven insisted on interviews, anatomical scans, hormonal tracking, and simulations. Mace, for her part, played along, half for the data, half for the sheer joy of watching a 7-foot alien scientist lose his composure every time the word orgasm was used. The breakthrough came during a cultural holo-recording Mace offered to show. It was a romantic drama from Earth's 21st century. Passion, tension, human bodies moving in sync. Yerven observed in stunned silence, his neural implant recording everything. "I did not understand," he whispered after the credits rolled. "The complexity of it. The vulnerability." "Now you get it," Mace said. It's not just mechanics here. It's about connection, trust. We strip away everything. Armor, pretenses. When we're with someone, really with them, it's like touching souls. Yerven looked away. I thought I was prepared for this exchange. I was not. Don't worry, Mace said, smiling. We humans do that to everyone. Soon Yerven requested permission from Concord Command to undergo emotional overlay training, something no Theraxi had done in over 200 years. Mace was floored. You're gonna feel things now? I must understand the experience in full, he replied solemnly. To comprehend the human method, I must first comprehend your emotion. You're either the bravest alien I've met, she said, or the dumbest. I suspect both. Training began, and with it, Yerven's changes became visible. He stopped referring to Mace as subject. He laughed, awkwardly at first, then sincerely. His compound eyes began to recognize nuance, tone, sarcasm. He smiled, well, as much as a mandible-bearing alien could. One night, Mace found him on the observation deck, staring out at Earth, humming softly. You're listening to music now. I find the harmonic structures soothing. Damn, you're going native. He didn't look away. Am I becoming human? Mace stepped beside him. You're learning what it means to be alive. Then came the final stage of the study. Cross-species bonding simulation. No sex, Mace said firmly. That's a hard boundary. Agreed, Yerven replied. This is not about physicality. It is about connection. Their date, as Mace jokingly called it, included a shared meal, Earth food for her, synthesized proteins for him, followed by personal story exchanges, memory sharing via neural relay, and even a hand-holding simulation through pressure-sensitive gloves. By the end of the evening, Yerven was silent. Mace thought she'd broken him. Instead, he turned to her and said, I believe I understand. Love. It is not weakness. It is choosing to be vulnerable. To trust another with your core. Yeah, Mace whispered. That's the whole deal. 6 days later, Yerven requested a transfer to Earth. For continued immersion, he told the council. He was granted permission. Before he left the Zelthar Prime, Mace gave him a parting gift. A small glass heart on a chain. A symbol, she said, of everything we taught each other. Yerven held it like it was starlight. I will cherish it. 2 years later, Heather Mace walked into the United Terran Embassy on Thyraxis Prime. She was older, her uniform traded for a diplomatic envoy's coat. And waiting at the entrance was a tall, familiar figure in civilian dress. You still humming Earth songs, Doc? Yerven smiled, his mandibles twitching fondly. Only the tragic ones. Those are the best, she said. So what now? I have a question, he said, pulling something from a pouch. A small metal ring, adjusted for Theraxi anatomy. I understand what it symbolizes in your culture, he said. And I wish to try. Mace's breath caught. You do what for mating? She echoed, voice soft with awe. Choose. Commit. Grow. Yerven stepped forward. If you are willing. She laughed, eyes misting. Took you long enough.